What are 5 great sealed products to pick up this month in March? Well, we're going through them right now. Alright guys, we are back with another 5 things to pick up this month in March. Now last month I went through things that you should kind of avoid. We're bringing it back and we're looking at things that are really good to pick up right now. Now, sealed product across the board has been going up in value as the Sword and Shield era is coming to a close, and we're going to be moving into the Scarlet and Violet at the end of this month. You know, at the end of March, on the 31st, in fact, we're going to be getting the new Scarlet and Violet set. Now, you won't be seeing the booster box for Scarlet and Violet in this list, so let's get into the list. Coming at number 5, we have Battle Styles booster box. Now, this is in fact the cheapest booster box that you can pick up right now in the Sword and Shield era. Now, is it the worst? I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it's definitely the cheapest. As we've been seeing sealed product across the board go up in cost and in value, Battle Styles is kind of the budget option to pick up in the form of a booster box. I don't think it's bad. I actually don't think Battle Styles is bad. I have a master set of it myself. Now with Battle Styles, it does have alternate arts, which are actually moving up in value, with the alt art Sleeping Trantor still being the most expensive card in the set. The pull rate of Battle Styles is quite tough, however, so if you do want to crack packs, it will be quite difficult. But Battle Styles has been climbing, and over on TCG Player, we're looking at around about $108 right now for this booster box. And it has been climbing. This was a set that's always been around, you know, around that $90 mark, $89 mark, but it's been on the uptick along with all the other sealed product. There is still a ton of Battle Styles around, so I wouldn't worry too much about picking it up. Over here in the UK, you could probably pick these up for around about 105, 110. They are on the uptick, not on any scale compared to the other sets like Main Fusion Strike, but it is on the climb. So if you do want to pick up a booster box for your collection, kind of on the cheaper side, but not the worst. You know, I do feel like Battle Styles is better than Rebel Clash. I do feel like it's better than Sword and Shield Base, Dancer Blaze. I do feel like it's better than all those sets. So it's not the worst, but it's not the greatest either. I do expect it to be a slow climber over the coming months and years in the Sword and Shield era, but it is the cheapest right now. Coming number 4, we have the Crown Zenith ETB, the regular one, not the Pokemon Center one, mainly because the Pokemon Center one is sold out pretty much everywhere unless you went on eBay to go and pick it up. Whereas the Crown Zenith ETB is actually holding pretty steady. You know, it's been climbing since its release over in the US, that is. Over here in the UK, it's a completely different story. You can still pick these up at retail in the UK, you know, places like Amazon and things like that. So it's not too bad, still around £50, £52.50. However, over in the US, it's not the case. People are going a bit mad, you know, picking this up. You know, $65, you know, come out just under 50, and it's shot up over the, you know, past month or so since its release. It is a fantastic set. It is so good. Now, I would say the Pokemon Center ETB is the better of the 2 ETBs to pick up, but because it's really hard to find right now and you want to, you know, add something to your collection, you can't go wrong with an ETB like this. Now, I collect a lot of Hidden Fates back in the Sun and Moon era, and that was the final set that was released in the Sun and Moon, and that's done pretty well. Do I feel like Crown Zenith is going to go the same way? I actually do. I actually feel like Crown Zenith is going to be a lot like Hidden Fates. Shining Fates didn't really deliver that because they reprinted that to an absolute oblivion, but I do feel like the Crown Zenith, even if it does get reprinted a lot, I feel like it's going to hold its own a lot better than Shining Fates did. And, you know, the hits and the biggest cards in the set, there's quite a few big hitters with the gold cards and Mewtwo V-Star, and the pull rates are really good. It's a fun set to open. It's a decent product. I do feel like the Crown Zenith ETBs, normal or the Pokemon Center ones, are going to be good for the long haul. Comment number 3, we have the Fusion Strike Elite Trainer Box. Now, you could say you could pick up the Pokemon Center version, and, you know, again, that would be better, but they're quite hard to get hold of. Over here in the UK, though, the Pokemon Center ETBs are a little bit easier to get hold of unless you went onto eBay, but you can still get them from the Pokemon Center at about £50. But for the normal ETB, Fusion Strike booster boxes are going up. Now, you could choose to buy Fusion Strike booster boxes, but like I say, they are going up in price. ETBs, however, they've been sitting pretty steady for the longest time, and we're looking at around $34 for these. Now, if you like collecting ETBs, you know, they're a bit on the cheaper option. We've seen it in Sun and Moon era ETBs. They do gain value quite well. Now, I'm not saying that the Sword and Shield era ones will do anywhere near as good. Who knows? We don't really know. But I do feel like Fusion Strike ETBs are pretty cheap right now, around $34. And if we go back a year, guys, you know, it's not even up to the highest it was at 40. So I do still feel like it's a pretty good pickup to get compared to the booster boxes. You know, booster boxes are going for around like 130 or so. But I do feel like this is still a pretty good little pickup. Comment number 2, we have the Chilling Reign ETB. Now, this is a really good set. Chilling Reign booster boxes are going up, you know, in value. We're looking over $140 a box now. now for Chilimrain. It is doing pretty well. Now we're looking at the ETB. Now the ETB has been climbing compared to things like the Fusion Strike one. If we take a look at this, we're looking around $46, $47 right now on TCG Player. And as you can see, guys, from the chart, it has been climbing over the past few months. It was around $36 and it is now on the uptick, gained $10 since then. To go back a year, it is basically up to near enough to where its highest was, you know, a year ago. So over here, you could pick these up for around £35, £40, I think, something around that. Yeah, around that figure, probably around 35, I think. You can still pick this up over here in the UK for a reasonable price. Again, Pokemon Center ones usually tend to be better, you know, more exclusive and less of them, so they tend to hold a lot more better value, but they're a little bit more tricky to get hold of. That's why we're running with the normal ETB rather than the Pokemon Center one. But just like Fusion Strike, you know, Chilimrain is getting harder and harder to get hold of, especially booster boxes, and the set's fantastic. So I do feel like this is going to be another product, as we've already seen it's on the rise. I do feel like it's going to be a set ETB, which is going to do really well in the long term. One of the honorable mentions before we get into the top one is Fusion Strike booster boxes. They are going up in price. They are cheaper than things like Chilimrain. They're about the same price as Silver Tempest Lost Origin right now, but I do feel like they're pretty good at $136, similar to the ETB. They didn't quite make the list just because I think the ETB is probably a little bit better to pick up just because it's on that cheaper end than a normal booster box. As you can see, guys, Fusion Strike's on the climb. It is getting pretty mad. Now, it did get a slight restock here in the UK. We saw them going for around 105, 110. So they are a little bit cheaper over here. I think now they've gone up a little bit since that little restock. You probably can pick them up on average for around 120. So they have gone up a little bit, but they're still cheaper than over in the US. I do feel like they're really good. And, you know, it didn't quite make the list. I do feel like ETPs are probably a little bit cheaper option that you might want to add into your collection. But keep an eye out for Fusion Strike because it's going to keep climbing and it's going to be a good one. Another honorable mention, we have the Lost Origin booster box. Now, this is another set which I really like, and I do feel like it's one of the strongest trainer gallery sets moving forward. It has dropped a little bit, but it's looking around 135. It did get a restock over here again in the UK. Over here, you can pick them up for around 115, 120, but they are on the uptick, and I do feel like a lot of the trainer gallery sets are now moving up. We've seen Brilliant Stars already move up, and things like Astral Radiance is even moving up as well. So Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, they're on the rise. I think out of all of them, apart from Brilliant Stars, it's a little bit more expensive. Lost Origin is another really good one, but I do feel like the price and stuff like that, I wouldn't really put that in the, you know, in kind of the top 5 for this month, but keep an eye on it. And finally, we're going to quickly talk about Evolving Skies. It did make the list because I like to avoid Evolving Skies right now. It is really, really expensive. I do feel like there are other products out there that you could now pick up, which will give you a much better return than investing quite heavily into something like Evolving Skies. As you can see from the chart, guys, it's kind of been up and down, yo-yo, all over the place. It is a high entry point of a product to pick up, and you know, it is a big ask to spend that type of money on a set like this. So if you do want to pick up some good stuff, I would highly suggest maybe going for something like Chilimrain, maybe some Fusion Strike, things that will go up over time, but are not really that expensive. I do feel like Evolving Skies is now getting, it is getting silly on the price point. All right, before we get into the final pick, guys, if you made this far into the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash that like button and make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon content, and don't forget to hit that bell for notifications for some videos. And also, let me know down in the comments, what are you looking to pick up this month? Now, I've already said about Scarlet and Violet that we're not going to include any Scarlet and Violet stuff in today's video. We're going to wait for that to be released because it comes out right at the end of the month. So we'll be talking about that when we hit April. But we're going to be looking at this month right now, and I do feel like it's going to be strong, Scarlet and Violet, but we're going to see how it goes, and we're going to wait for it to come out. But for this month right now, what is number one? Well, it's pretty cheap. It's dropping in price. Now's a great time to pick it up. Number one is the Charizard UPC. Now, you may be thinking, Jace, you know, this is a ton of it around. And yeah, you're right. There is. And as we can see from the price, you really can't go wrong. And I'll explain why. It is currently around $91 on TCG Player. Over here in the UK, about £100. It has dropped below MSRP, and we look back when it came out, right? I mean, obviously the hype was crazy, it was stupidly expensive, but even when it came out around 120, we're looking at around $90. Okay, you get the 3 promos. They hold semi decent value. Over here in the UK, they are about £15 each. Over in the US, they're a little bit cheaper, but I would say for the 3 of them, let's say we're looking at, I don't know, $30 for the 3. Okay, so you look at $60 for 16 pack plus the Playman accessories. Playman accessories, let's say $10, you knock off another 10. Then you're looking at $50 for 16 packs, 3 of which are Evolving Skies. That's not bad going. Like, that is really, really good. So whether or not you open up the product and just have great fun with it, it's very good. If you want to keep it sealed, it is also really good, because this product, even though there's a lot of it around right now, it's going to be a product that people would want in the future. I do see this going up. Now, One thing is it's really, really cheap right now. And the fact is it's under MSRP. You know, you can't really go wrong. You can't really go wrong with this. And I'm looking at picking more up. I've got one sealed. I'm actually looking at picking more up to open. I'm looking at picking more up to keep sealed, because I do feel like down the line, this will be good. I don't expect it to be amazing in the short term. I'm expecting this to be great in the long term. And that's what I'm going for with this product. Now, it is quite a big product physically. It's not easy to store, but it is a really good one nonetheless. And it is great to open. You get such good value, such good, you know, packs for your money, which I think is really, really good right now. So I do think this is good. I do think this is a great product moving forward. It is cheap. Will it get cheaper? Maybe only a little, but right now it is very, very good. And I think it's a great time to pick it up. Always good to pick stuff up when they're on the cheap. So there you have it, guys. Those are my picks, plus with some honorable mentions of what you can pick up this month. Of course, it's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments, guys, what are you looking to pick up this month? I'm looking to pick up some more Chin Rain. I really want to get some more Chin Rain. I picked up some Fusion Strike before, but I want some more Chin Rain. Build up my collection, because I haven't got enough. And I'm going to look at picking up some Charizard UPCs. I am really going to look at picking up some Charizard UPCs. Scarlet and Violet's not out yet, so I'm holding off until obviously the release date of that. Right at the end of this month, moving into April, and that will be in April's list, I'm sure, with some of the other products that are coming out, because it's looking to be really good. But if you want to know what great old arts to pick up for under $50, then make sure to click on this video right here. And if you want to watch more Pokemon content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That is it from me, guys, in this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, you guys are legends, and I'll see you all in the next one.